to the Nighttime Show. Today, we have a very special guest. You know her, you love her, and she's been lost in space. Our dear friend, Marta Kristen. How cool is that? The original series.
Cool.
This
The
is
original series.
amazing. And you are gorgeous. You're a beautiful
We don't
lady.
say old series. We just say original series.
Original
Although I don't
series.
really care.
Oh, no.
One way or the other.
This is the best series.
Time
the
goes
best
by.
of series.
Yes, it was a wonderful show.
Oh, such a great
was fun.
show. Were you on that for the entire run of the show?
I was, yes.
That's amazing.
Sometimes I didn't want to be, but
Really?
No. Well,
No, come
there were only
on.
times
You know
when
what? It was probably the Crafty, huh?
Yeah, Crafty wasn't very good.
traveling was really hard. really hard. No,
In fact, they'll say, Stephen, be careful asking about that. Danger, 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 Stephen
That's
Glickman.
right.
Don't ask
Danger,
about that.
yes.
That's an man. What an incredible show. Were you? No, I know. Before you were on that show, you were in movies. I mean, you were in all sorts of. You were in westerns and all sorts of great
I did
shows.
Beach Blanket Bingo.
Beach
Excuse
Blanket
me.
Bingo.
Yeah.
Come on.
Gosh, really?
I mean, that's
Beach
a big
Blanket-
deal.
Oh yeah, I was the mermaid in that. You know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Do you know how many movies and television shows have parodied Beach Blanket Bingo
Oh,
over the
yes,
years?
I do.
You know, I was on a show called Big Time Rush on Nickelodeon for 5
Oh.
years, and we
Oh.
did Big Time Beach Blanket Bingo Rush
As an episode,
As an
yeah.
episode. That was the name of the episode, and we shot it in Malibu. And it was like literally trying to remake your show, your movie.
That was a penultimate beach party movie.
I mean,
Yes.
that's crazy. That was
absolutely the best.
That was Frankie Avalon. That was Annette Funicello. I mean, you got
even one of the priests at my church, St. Monica's Catholic Church,
Oh, I
has
played
asked me
basketball
to
for them.
speak about Beach Blanket Bingo to their film group.
Really?
Wow.
I said, "What am I going to talk to about about being a mermaid to a religious group?" But I'll find something.
Yeah.
I'm sure.
Was that a great time being on that set?
Oh
That
yes!
must have been insane.
Oh yes! I had so much fun. I was cold a lot because I was in the water
Yeah.
Yeah.
in November.
Oh,
Oh yeah.
Yes, with no
never-
wetsuit.
Yeah, they never make beach movies in
the summer.
because
Never.
it has to come out in the
Well,
summer.
because there are too many people at the beach.
yeah.
Right, yeah, totally,
So-
totally, yeah.
So
But it was fun.
Was there dancing in beach?
Oh, of course.
So
Oh, the whole
so
thing
you were
was dancing.
cold,
Yeah.
but you were just like dancing the whole time to try and keep warm.
I was cold. I was just wearing pasties.
Oh my God.
They're laughing.
We've
No,
learned
but-
so much.
Because it
No,
makes me
because
embarrassed.
Finally, they just fell off, and I just said, "What the hell? Doesn't matter anyway."
Oh my God.
Now, I
I'm just trying
read.
to stay above water.
I just read
Of
that
all-
you're
of all
from
sets to
Norway.
be on.
Is that right? You're from Norway?
I'm from Norway, from
Oslo?
Oslo, and near Oslo, called a place called Drammen.
Uh huh.
And I was adopted when I was 5 years old.
Wow.
And came to the United States all by my little old self.
Oh my God.
And
So what we've learned here, though, is that being able to handle that much cold is not genetic because you moved here and instantly you're cold on the set of Beach Blanket Bingo on a beach in California.
right. It's
when you'd be
crazy.
on a glacier back in Norway.
Yeah, exactly. No,
Yeah.
you know, I often think about. Here I am in Los Angeles.
Whoa.
Oh my God! They've just electrocuted somebody. That's one.
So many more to go.
So many more.
That's what this is. They
Oh,
they
there's
bring
two.
in
Yes.
cast
Almost two,
members from
1.5.
TV shows and then they just electrocute them in another room.
Anyway, yeah, I often think about that. I think about being here in Los Angeles from an orphanage in Norway, and how lucky and how.
Do you have much connection back to the home country? Like, do you ever go back and visit? Or
Well, actually, I found my birth family.
Really?
There are 9 children, other children.
Wow.
So there are 10 of us.
Oh my God.
And yes, my mother was
yeah,
very prolific.
I watch a Norwegian cooking show, and it seems to be the most beautiful place on planet Earth because in the show it's called New Scandinavian Cooking, and they go and they're on a fjord somewhere,
Oh,
and they
yes.
set up a little portable stove, and then they just cook in the middle of the Norwegian wilderness.
Wow.
And it's like gorgeous. There's like moose walking by in the background or whatever. You're like, they cross country ski to get to like an ice lodge, and then they cook there, and it's just amazing looking food.
You're absolutely right. It is the most beautiful country. And I love Big Sur, for instance, in California. and it reminds me a lot of Norway.
I could see that.
Oh,
Yeah.
it's so amazing.
Yeah, that's really incredible. There is one interesting weird piece of trivia that IMDb has listed, and since the show is sponsored in part by IMDb, that's not true.
That's not true.
But because we love referencing people's IMDb's, here is an actual quote from them, and I want you to say whether or not it's true. They said, and this is a quote, that in the movie Beach Blanket Bingo, your tail was made of fiberglass and latex, and during the close-ups, Marta Kristen would wear a costume belt to allow her to use her legs for swimming whenever her character was only seen from the waist up. Is that true?
Bingo.
Wow! There we go. Well done, IMDb.
Fun fact, truth.
Another win for the BD. There we go. Very nice.
It was heavy as hell.
Was it?
Yeah.
It
Really?
was so hard to swim with. But fortunately, I was a good swimmer. I was very strong.
I love it.
But it was really heavy. It had metal, a little bit of metal at the end of the tail.
Did they have you like swim with something on your legs as part of the casting process to see if you could do it?
No. I just told them I could
You're just like,
swim
I can
and
handle it.
I can do that.
Yeah.
You got it.
And they believed me.
That's every
How
actor's
foolish
rule.
of them.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like, do you ride a horse? Of course I ride a
Yeah.
horse. I've never been on a horse in my life. That's
love
not
it.
true. I love horses and
That's
I ride them.
so fun.
But whatever
And,
it takes, right?
I
Yeah.
don't. Yes. Yeah.
Whatever it takes.
Whatever
Always
they
say
take,
yes.
Whatever
Yeah.
it takes. Always say yes.
Yeah,
like
they say,
in improv.
Yeah, they go, hey, do you know how to ride a bicycle? You say, of course I do. They say, you know how to ice skate? Of course I do.
Yes, of
Yeah.
course.
Sure.
Yes,
Yeah.
I take improv. I studied with Gary Austin for many years,
Yeah.
who was the founder of Groundlings, the
Yeah.
Groundlings.
Oh, sure.
And he passed away last year, and so now I'm continuing to study with his wife. But of course, the absolute adage for improv is
Yes,
never
and.
say no.
Of course.
Yes.
Yeah, yes, and.
Just say yes. Helen Hunt studied with him for many years, and at his memorial, she wore a wonderful T-shirt in French. It says "Oui."
Oh, I love
O-U-I,
that.
oui.
I love that.
That's
And I
awesome.
just thought
Okay,
that was great.
we got to take a little walk real quick through the Lost in Space cast list. We're just going to ask you a couple quick questions about this cast because you played Judy Robinson, but there are many other Robinsons. So, Professor John Robinson, played by Guy Williams. Tell me a little bit about Guy Williams. Anything you can remember.
Zorro, duh.
Yeah.
Zorro. I was madly in love with Zorro.
Oh,
And
wow.
so for him to be my father was sort of weird at first.
Did you have an immediate crush when you saw him in
I
person?
did. I said, oh my goodness.
Yeah.
But then he was so gentlemanly, and so he just had this way about him, professorial almost. He loved music. He was a great raconteur. He had.
I'm
this
falling in love.
Wonderful. You're falling in love. Yes, you would have too. Yeah,
I'm
he
sure.
was quite something.
Now, can we ask you about?
Did you date at all? Did you go on any dates with him? Did he
No.
take you out? Not
No,
at
he
all?
was married.
Oh,
And
come
no,
on.
I was way too young.
Now, can we ask you about?
But I did like Mark Goddard.
Oh,
Mark,
yeah. I mean, come on.
liked
Major
him.
Don West.
Yeah.
Don Major, we called him Crash West.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
Yeah,
Crash,
very
Crash
handsome
West.
Can we ask you about
Very handsome.
Billy Mummy? Billy Mummy, who was in two of the greatest Twilight Zone episodes
Oh,
of all
yeah.
time, of course.
Children,
Yeah.
yes.
So, what was he like on the set? Because I've seen him in interviews, and he seems like he's a little strange to say. But he's-
Billy was a little devil.
yeah.
Oh yeah, he was cute.
Mhm.
He was never a bad kid. He was never, never out of sorts. He was never uppity. I mean, he never seemed like he thought he was really important.
Mm-hmm.
He really felt.
sounds
I mean,
nice.
he was a good kid, and his mother was, she wasn't a big stage mother. Angela Cartwright too. Angela was
Yeah.
another spectacular young person to work with, and neither of them had stage mothers. I mean, it was, thank God.
Yeah, no,
Yeah,
they
you don't
sound
want to
like-
put up with that. Yeah.
What about June Lockhart? Which I know people must ask you
June.
about June all the time.
June is 92.
Wow.
Yes, and she is. Oh, she's the smartest woman I've ever known, besides my mother.
Wow.
She is a genius. She has a medal from NASA.
What?
Really?
Yes, she is a journalist. She's part of the. She's been given a journalistic award.
Yeah.
Many awards. I mean,
So worldly.
she's really, really bright. She can talk about anything. Talk about her life. Thomas Edison, for instance, brought her parents together, and she tells a whole story about that.
Oh my God!
Yes,
Wow.
they were both actors. Jean Lockhart.
Yeah,
And
sure.
her mother
Yeah.
was an actress, and they were on a train that Thomas Edison had, and which he would travel cross country, and he would advertise all of his inventions.
Unbelievable.
And she was, I guess, conceived on the train.
Wow.
What? Yeah, wow.
Whoa, we got the scoop.
And then when she was born, she traveled with her mother and father again on the train.
And did she meet Thomas Edison?
I'm sure
as well?
she did.
Oh my
Wow.
I'm sure
How
she
cool
did.
is that?
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
amazing.
Oh,
That's
Jim,
our first Thomas Edison story
Yeah,
well,
on the
I
podcast.
would imagine.
The only Thomas Edison story I have is I saw Thomas Edison's last breath. They have at a museum in, I think it's
They have his
Saginaw,
last
Michigan.
breath?
It's allegedly in a jar. They have
Oh.
Thomas Edison's last breath is what they claim.
Wow.
That's right. You sort of breathe out that
yeah.
last
That is so
moment.
crazy.
And
Yeah.
my grandfather actually pulled the switch on Topsy the elephant and electrocuted that elephant. So
Oh
isn't
my
this,
God,
like,
that's
so-
amazing!
so full
Wow,
circle?
Mike Glazer.
Wow.
Wow, life really does come full circle,
really does.
and then dies by electrocution. What about Don Richardson? Can we talk about Don Richardson a
Oh,
little
Don
bit?
Richardson. Oh, what a guy. He and I adored each other.
He directed the
He
show.
called me the Norwegian Viking. Yes.
yeah, I'm
the
sure.
Viking. And he would give me. He was just delightful. He was very flirtatious and yeah, but you know.
Well, I mean, come on.
Great.
I, well,
mean,
I
it's,
was
you
very
know,
young.
Makes for a great set.
Yeah.
I hope. I don't know.
No, he was an interesting man, very complicated, and but a wonderful director.
Really?
Easy to work with for me.
Yeah.
Everybody else sort of had tough times, but I had a great time.
That's incredible.
I loved what he did. I loved directors that would give us some different angles, and rather than having us line up, he would have us in different groups and different reactions shots, and
Now, if you hadn't become an actress, what would you have done with your life, do you think?
what's
If you hadn't become an actress, what do you think you would have done?
if I didn't?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I would have been an anthropologist.
Really?
Yes,
Interesting.
it's
Really?
not that far, it's not that different. You're sort of scraping all the time and trying to find the bones
Yes.
of the whole. You find little pieces here and little pieces there, and pretty soon you've got a dinosaur or whatever you're
Yeah.
going to looking for.
I got a kind of a weird question for you. This is an interesting credit. You were also in the Lost in Space movie, the remake movie
Yes.
with Matt LeBlanc and
Yes.
and everyone
Yes.
when that happened. How did you feel when you saw that movie? Did you see that movie when it came out, or
I did.
How did
How
you?
do you feel seeing somebody else play you, basically? You know?
I didn't mind that. What I minded was that I didn't particularly like the movie.
Sure.
Yeah.
It was so different. It really didn't need to be called Lost in Space.
Yeah. Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
It was just some other movie with the
It
same
was
names.
Some,
Yeah.
Right, some other movie that was similar.
It's such an interesting thing with a studio because a studio like that owns that property, and they have that property forever. And then they, at some point in time, they go back and they look through all their old properties or projects that they, shows that they've done. And then they go, hey, you know what? We own this. Let's get a writer to go write it, because then they don't have to acquire something new. They just have to hire some guy to go write a script. And that sometimes really makes things a little weird, and you end up with some weird projects and some weird
Yes,
movies.
yes.
And that was kind of a weird movie, and in comparison, it doesn't even compare to what you accomplished on that show.
It wasn't
Yeah.
at all like the show.
No, not
If
even
they
not
had-
even kind
If they
of.
had kept the sort of the feeling of the show, then I
Yeah.
would have thought it better.
Right, yeah,
You
but
know,
it didn't even capture it.
Yeah.
Where did you guys shoot that original
In
TV
England,
show?
actually, at the Shepherd Studios.
Oh, wow.
What? I didn't know
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
So how long were you in England shooting that?
I'm sorry.
How long were you in England?
Well, I was there, I think, for 2 weeks. I went with Angela.
Okay.
Angela and I became actually good friends on that shoot.
That's really
because
amazing.
there was such an age difference.
Yeah.
That when we were doing the show, Lost in Space, that it really, we just never connected that closely. And then so on the flight to New York, to London, we got to sort of say, yeah, let's talk. Let's go to theater. Let's go to some museums when we're there.
I love it.
And my mother had just passed away, and so she was really she was very helpful, very nurturing. And
Wow,
I
that's
really
really
loved that.
great.
That's very
She's
sweet.
she's really a lovely person and very, very talented. Great photographer, wonderful artist, and Bill too. Bill is a great musician and a writer, and we're all multifaceted.
I love it. Is that what you do? What are you doing now? What type of stuff do you do these days? Are you acting these days as well?
My husband passed away last year, so I'm just sort of finding myself.
Sure.
We were married, we were together 43 years.
Wow.
He was an amazing love of my life, and my heart is broken, but I'm back to acting at the Ruskin Theater in Santa Monica.
Oh, that's a beautiful theater.
Oh, it's a wonderful theater and a theater company, and I'm writing plays, short plays, and I'm performing in them.
Oh my God,
and
that's incredible.
Of course, I take the improv class with Wendy McKenzie.
You're
We're
just
trying
an artist. You're an artist.
Yeah, you're an artist through and
yes,
through.
and I paint.
Wow.
Yeah, so I know my husband would want me to be happy, and so I'm just going forward.
Good.
And
As you should.
Yep.
Oh,
I
there's something
think we're gonna
Let's call it because
Is that it?
There's
this was
I
such
think you're
a
going to do a
serious
presentation.
it's a pleasure to meet you. Though.
My pleasure.
Really
Thank you so
an
much.
honor.
we have to
Thank
be
you
very
so much.
quiet.
It's so serious right
Thank
now.
you.
So serious.
Thank you. I adore you.
I adore
This
you
has been
too.
amazing.
The best.
Thank
this
you.
was so much fun. Thanks
God
for listening
bless.
to the show, guys.
Yeah.
We'll talk to you soon.
Stand up in front of a fireball. Steven Glickman about to rock us all. Nighttime show is why we all are here. Sit back, shut up, grab yourself a beer. Robbie is so funny, Matt Walker is the best. Flash does sing and show that they're on the gas. Nighttime show. The fucking nighttime show. Nighttime show, the nighttime show, nighttime show.
Hey guys, welcome to the Nighttime Show. Today we have a very special guest. You know her, you love her, and she's been lost in space. Our dear friend, Marta
Kristen.
Marta Kristen. Can you cut that together?
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
Or I could just leave this whole thing.
Oh, you fucking
Embarrassing.
bastard. Please don't do that.